Alright, so you were going to tell me and I was going to suffer through you telling me about some previous Dungeons & Dragons card games.
Yeah, so this is not the first Dungeons & Dragons card game, so I thought this would be a fun time, fun, to go back and cast our eye over some of the older CCGs.
Go on.
So, when Magic came out back in 1993, the whole sort of design idea was meant to be that it was just something short and quick and easy that you could do while you were waiting for all your players to show up to your game of D&D.
Ah.
Right, that was what Wizards of the Coast asked for. Richard Garfield showed up with a board game that he wanted to publish, which we should actually get, Robo Rally. He showed up with a board game. He said, I want to do this. They played it and they went, this is really cool, but we don't really have the budget to do this. Do you have something small and quick and easy? And he went, well, I've got this other idea. It just uses cards. And they went, yeah, okay, we can do something with that. It hit in 1993. No one knew what it was going to be like. Like, no one knew what a hit it was until it came out. The first, half dozen sets all got sold out instantaneously. No one got the stock they ordered. Supplies were super scarce and it just exploded.
Right.
And everyone else in the gaming world went, geez, I want a piece of that. So within the next year, 94, a couple of CCGs came out, and then 1995, every single company that could manage it released a CCG. Every single franchise that they could lay their hands on got one. This is this massive deluge, and by 1996, most of them were dead. So, the very first card game that decided it wanted a piece of Magic's pie was Spellfire, the Dungeons & Dragons card game. Officially, Spellfire, Master the Magic.
That's, sounds like they're calling out.
It does a little bit, doesn't it?
It sounds like they're calling Magic out a bit. Right there.
So, TSR decided to just rush this into production, which is how they managed to get it out so fast. So they had a couple of things that were in their favour for this one, which is that they had ridiculous stocks of art that they'd already commissioned.
Of course.
So, just about all of the art in Spellfire is actually pretty decent, especially by the standards of old CCGs.
Yeah.
And also something that you'd seen at least twice before.
Ah, right.
On the other hand, the card design, the rules, the layout, the theme, everything else, not so great.
Oh boy.
So, here's a card for you, Claire. It's got some actually pretty fantastic art. It's your boy. I thought you'd like to see your boy.
Hey, it's Strahd von Zarovich.
Yeah, do you recognise that picture?
Yep, that's the cover.
It's the cover art. They had a good picture, they used it again. But what do you think of ignoring the art? What about the iconography and the layout of it?
So, why does Ravenloft have to be on the card twice?
Oh, so for the sets, the first set was a base set and it had some cards from a bunch of different worlds. And then after that, the second set was the Ravenloft booster set. The third set was Dragonlance.
I get that, but it's there twice.
Yeah.
And one of it's really big, so big that his name is pushed onto 2 rows.
So that's because every card has a realm that it's from. So it's saying he belongs to the realm of Ravenloft and he's from the Ravenloft set.
Okay.
It's still kind of messy.
It's still messy.
Yeah. And it means most of the cards have a giant Advanced Dungeons & Dragons icon on them.
Yeah. It's sort of unnecessary. And then, there's hardly...
The rules,
And then there's hardly any room for the rules, which are all squished up onto the remaining space.
Yeah, the actual layout I always thought was really bad. And then the icon in the top left corner, which says that he's a monster. It's kind of cartoony and naff.
I mean, I don't mind that one so much, but sure.
Sure, but they're all like that, though. They're all just kind of...
I'll post the image on the blog when I
Yeah, we might put some other ones up as well.
Sure. Did you have another one to show me?
I did, but I was going to tell you a little bit about Spellfire first. So, Spellfire. Oh, so all the art's recycled, pretty much.
Yeah.
There's a few exceptions, which is generally bad. And there's also a few places where they didn't have the art for what they wanted. And they went, let's just recycle something else anyway.
Oh no.
So there's examples, like the one I can think of off the top of my head is there's a Dragonlance character who is a pirate captain, and they didn't have a picture of her.
Oh.
So they got a dark elf in a bikini and put that on and called it a day.
What? Why do they show their own properties such little respect?
Yeah, it's... And a lot of things, they just grabbed a picture, cropped it. So the same piece of art could be used on multiple cards.
Oh.
Just crops differently to highlight a different part of the card.
Huh. I mean, honestly, if I were the art director for Spellfire, I could very easily use the same piece of art for Strahd to create a gargoyle card.
And that's exactly the sort of thing. I don't think there is a gargoyle card with that exact art, but that's the exact idea.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure if you get Caramon and Raceland's cards and put them next to each other, then
That's cute, though.
it is cute for them. And I'm pretty sure, though I couldn't give you an example off the top of my head, that there are people who have literally the same art,
Huh.
which is a little bit more awkward. Anyway, so the theme of this one, in this game about heroes and monsters and quests and stuff, is that you're a king or queen assembling your kingdom out of the lands of the Dungeons and Dragons multiverse.
You're the king of your own calm kingdom.
Which is not really what D&D is about at all.
No, not really.
So the first person to make a very pretty little pyramid wins.
What?
Yep, because you put one on the front and then you put two behind that and you put three behind that and you build a little pyramid.
What?
Yep, that's how you win.
That's so daft.
I mean, it's got about as much to do with D&D as the first person who takes the opponent's life down to 0 as the winner. After you played these realms, and while all the cards had the realms on them, there was no real incentive to actually play like a Ravenloft themed deck.
Okay.
So what you probably had was you had the Island of the Minotaurs from Dragonlance, and then behind it you had the underwater kingdom of the Sea Elves and the Forgotten Realms, and one of the city-states of Dark Sun next to it, and this was your kingdom that you were building. And
Okay.
yeah, and then you played heroes drawn from all of D&D's novels mostly, and sent them to attack and defend each other's realms. And there were no costs to playing the cards either. So if you wanted to play, say, Strahd, who's a level 9 character, and I wanted to play, say, Volo, a level 3 character, well, your card is better than mine. The only rule was, for heroes, for characters, there was a maximum level that you could have in your deck. So you could have a ton of lame, wimpy characters.
Okay.
Or fewer awesome characters who'll win every fight.
Okay.
It also, some of the cards had special abilities, some didn't. So people who had cool special abilities were just better than people who didn't. So there was no sort of power balance or cost to doing things.
That's crazy.
Which is kind of dumb. And yeah, there were some of the cards were just wildly overpowered. And so I remember there's a card for the Goddess of Magic, and if you've got it out, no one can cast spells without your permission.
Oh, wow.
Which in a multiplayer game is really fun.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was just kind of a dumb game. Whoever had the good cards would tend to win. They would just build a degenerate deck with all the good cards and win. I remember there were, because there was no cost to doing things, you would just play the cards that let you take extra turns, and the cards that let you play extra realms, and the cards that let you play realms out of turn order, and then you just go boom, 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 oh, I've won. And the other person would just sit there. So it was a pretty dumb game, bad theme. There were a whole bunch of sets for it though. I was kind of surprised. So it came out in 1994, and it died in 1997, and apparently it actually sold really, really well.
Huh.
I think people trusted the license.
Yeah.
When I was looking up stuff about this to refresh myself on it, I found someone who said they decided they were going to invest in one card game, and they went, I don't even know who Wizards of the Coast is.
Oh.
I don't know what this magic thing is. I know TSR. This is D&D. This is the biggest thing ever. I'm going to invest in some booster boxes of this one.
No, don't do it.
And so the rest of the article was them bemoaning the fact that they could have had Moxes and Black Lotuses. And, Anyway, they released in that time 12 sets and 4 core sets.
Damn.
Apparently there were more in the line when they got bought out by Wizards of the Coast, and Wizards even contemplated bringing back Spellfire, but decided no. Why be your own competition?
Ain't nobody got time
Also,
for that.
Spellfire is bad. But there is actually a site online which has made like fan cards, and so you can get fan expansions and you print them out as stickers and stick them over cards. There is also one other set that I need to mention because it was so hilariously bad and dumb, and that was the set Night Stalkers. I pulled out one card from it to show you, because Early on, they had all this art to rely on. Later on, they sort of ran out of art.
Oh boy.
So someone had the bright idea of, why don't we get all the TSR staff to dress up in costume?
No.
So here is the Dark Lord Jacqueline Renier, the Were-Rat.
Oh no. Oh, I can't bring myself to look. Oh my god. This is... this actually goes past embarrassing. And it actually sort of looks like installation art at this point. Like, there's something...
That's not the dumbest one.
There's something so...
I could have shown you one of someone in blackface with a white curly wig.
Oof,
being
no
a dark
thank you.
elf.
No thank you.
Yep.
I actually sort of love this. It's gone beyond,
It's so charmingly awful that
It is.
Yeah.
It really is. As I said, I will put a picture up of this on the blog.
And I remember there's other cards where it's like someone who's clearly got a cushion stuffed up their front. Someone who's got to act like they've had a spell cast on them. And there were other ones where they took photos of it. They got a little miniature, and then they took photos of it from close up, so the miniature looked like it was the thing that they wanted.
I mean, they could have put a filter over it or anything, like...
No, just straight up took a photo, put someone in a black cloak, gave them a rat mask, and told them to act like they were a rare.
But the rat mask is glorious.
It's gloriously bad.
But that's the thing, it transcends.
I was expecting hysterical laughter when I showed you this card, Claire. I wasn't expecting that, horrified pause of this evaluation into, actually, I like this.
No, there's something so terrible about it that it's gone beyond cringe and horror for me.
No, it's awful.
And it's
bad and wrong.
It's ascended to a realm of kitsch godliness that I actually really like.
There is a part of me that I don't like that actually wants to put all of my Spellfire cards in binders and have them on display. I have just about the entire set of that block, Claire.
See that's the embarrassing and cringe part.
No, it's because the booster box was like $10. Because that's how I've got all the Spellfire.
Right.
I got it all bargain basement, $5 to $20 a booster box.
And yet you still lost money.
I still lost. That money is never coming back. After Spellfire, there was also Blood Wars, which I never actually played, which was the Planescape CCG.
Huh.
It came out in 1995 and was dead by 1995.
Aww.
Having 3 sets in that time.
Wow.
It actually managed to come up with a theme that actually worked. You were a warlord trying to take control of the planes, and so you fought political and military battles to take control of battlefields.
Huh.
And all your troops had to match alignment, but any version of the alignment. So all the lawful people would work together, all the evil people would work together, which is actually quite Planescape to me.
That's cool, actually, I like that.
I sort of like the idea that the lawful good people and the lawful evil people might team up to punch out the chaotic neutral people.
I sort of want to play it.
I used to have some. I got rid of it. The rules were Byzantine, so you had a hand, and then you played your warlords, and each of them had an individual hand that they used.
Oh, no.
It was just a little bit convoluted.
Yeah.
The other one that I actually want to talk about, the other D&D card game. There've been some other ones. There was a dice game that was part of Sinking TSR that was so bad and unpopular. There's a modern dice game, Dice Masters, which has had some D&D sets, which I understand is actually quite good. I haven't played it. But no, the other one I was going to mention was Warlords, Saga of the Storm, which is advertised as the card game you already know the rules to.
Wait, what?
So, Warlord was published by Elderac, who did Alphavar back in 2001. The time of 3rd edition, when everything was open license. And so they used the open gaming license to make 3rd edition the collectible card game.
Wow, okay.
Which is actually a really clever concept. And so the idea was that, the average gamer would sit down and basically know the rules already.
Yeah.
So what happened was you had different factions, because it was an Elderac game, all of whom were clever subversions of existing stereotypes, like the dwarves who were good guys and clerics, Okay, they weren't all particularly clever subversions. But yeah, you had your little armies, you put them in ranks, you had your level 1 people at the front and they were rubbish and cannon fodder, and you had level 2 people behind them and they were a little bit stronger, and you had your level 5 warlord and play behind them. And you to play new people, you had to play them into the right rank, and so you had to maintain your army. And then you just rolled a ton of d20s. And your armies beat each other up.
Oh, okay.
And so I did have some of this as well. I did play some games of this. I quite like the setting, actually.
Yeah.
So the premise of it was based on somebody's home D&D game where they got people, they said, we're going to do an evil game. You can be level 20 characters, make the most awesome, badass people you can think of. And then once they were done, he took the character sheets away and went, right, now start at level 1. Those were the villains.
Oh, no. I love it.
Yeah. And so there was quite a cool world. Oh, there were evil Arthurian knights were one of the factions too. That was quite cool. They were all courtly and like, and it please thee, my lord, I shall quench my blade in his heart's blood. Necromancer elves and scrappy freedom fighter humans who were the rogues.
Cool.
Orcs who were more like the Lion Clan, of like super tacticians and organised. Yeah, it was cool, but it was really fast and easy to play, and it really did just involve rolling a ton of dice. But, you know, it was cool. You could have a beholder. You could have dragons. This is the stuff that you want, really.
Dragon.
The other cool thing that they did was their tournaments. They had this system where you had bosses that you could fight. And if you beat their normal bosses, you could earn the right to challenge the Medusan Lords, who were those original level 20 PCs. And there was only one copy of their deck in existence.
Oh, what?
And it was wildly OP. Just completely busted and overpowered. And if you beat it, you got that deck forever. And that character was canonically dead, you'd killed them.
So, like, did they play it at Gen Con or something?
Yeah. So you had to earn the right to get to fight them. This was like the World Championships.
Wow.
Was getting to go up against these ultimate bosses. And you'd have your little level 5 warlord and they'd be like, yeah, I've got my level 10 character who starts off with 3 dragons in play. And
sick.
If you could take them out...
That's sick. I love it.
It's actually really cool. They did a D&D campaign setting for it, which I've never actually got my hands on, but I'd love to get it. They released 4 books and they went, that's it. They released them all simultaneously. Here's the book, 4 books, and done.
Far out.
Yeah, so that is a retrospective of D&D and card games, and also our review of the latest set. Resounding,
Wow. I don't know. If we revise our opinion,
yeah,
we can. We'll
I didn't hate it.
No, I was intrigued at first, then mildly disappointed.
But it didn't excite me the same way that rumours of Kamigawa Neon Dynasty Cyberpunk
Hell yeah.
Magic set for next year do. It was just sort of vanilla.
Yeah. So, plugs. Hey, Her Gentle Highness Kickstarter, July 28th, finally!
Slightly further ahead, if you're going to be in Hamilton for Convergence, I'm going to be there running the Fall of the House of Delasquama. We had our first playtest. It's going to be pretty cool.
Alright, James, good episode.
That's us.
Don't forget to like and subscribe.
And share.
And share.
Comment.
And
have you played any of these games? Do you too regret spending money on Spellfire? Let us know.
Bye.
Bye. And keep gaming.